are excited to finally get to do some stuff together. We've all done some separate things together now and again. I had a talk show and a podcast. Johnny was on the talk show with me in Alt Space, and now we want to go ahead and get together and finally get to do this stuff for you guys here, which is exciting. We're excited to have you here. We're going to have a little different format than the everyday podcast with a couple people sitting behind a desk in a studio. Sometimes different locations. We are standing. We are not going to be sitting. We are going to be just a little more dynamic and engaged in that sense. Our podcast, we have an hour for the podcast. That is an hour slot that we've got. However, we're going to have some things to talk about, some fun little articles, some things about daily life, all kinds of stuff. But we are, thanks so much. Those are my hidden minions from the netherworlds that are keeping themselves hidden because they're so grotesque. I don't want them to scare you. But just kidding, all my ex-boyfriends. Um, but what we're going to be doing is talking about a lot of different stuff, and we want to have a little bit of flexibility, kind of keep it fluid. So we've got an hour. Sometimes we'll go a half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Just kind of depends. So as we're starting off on things now, some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I'm Psycho, also known as Psycho Wench in some apps, and I am super jazzed about this. Let's go ahead and introduce our my co-host here. We have also Faye. Talk about yourself, Faye. Like everyone doesn't know who she is. Our alt space goddess.
Hi. Yes, I'm Faye, and I'm the community manager here in Banter. And yes, this is my first episode ever of a podcast that I'm starring in myself. So exciting! Yes, can't wait. Can't wait.
And that is Johnny. Oh, I'm sorry, Dracula's X. Sorry, I'm so used to calling. Go ahead.
Yay! Boo! No, I'm just kidding. Hey,
Oh,
everybody.
we have
I'm
all the swooning
excited to
women.
be here. I tried to find Boo, but I'm not sure. I didn't pre-screen the boos, so I don't want to
Oh,
play a boo and then it's something else. But just imagine
yeah,
people.
not a good idea.
No, just I'm excited to try this podcast format, and it's something kind of interesting that I think you guys will enjoy. There's a lot of different topics, and you know, uh, things kind of related to what's going on in VR and other things. So I'm really excited to have you all here and kind of get a chance to be virtually talented here. So let's see how that goes.
Right on. Awesome. So,
Awesome.
guys, just the usual kind of things too that we ask of you. Don't run around, don't chat and talk. If you need to do that, just please head on out to the lovely snowy Alps that we have out here, the nice little mountain ranges we've got. And then let's just the usual kind of stuff that everybody is nice and respectful and kind to one another. And please do not throw tomatoes at us. Well, throw them at Johnny because he needs his fruit and his vegetables right now. But refrain from
Hmm.
refrain from Faye and I. So, as a matter of fact, we were gonna, instead of just launching randomly into some topics, let's talk about what we were just talking about because that's something that we all are kind of feeling, which is the Discord issue. With a show of hands, guys, how many of you guys are not very appreciative of the new changes on Discord, on their new format changes and everything? Anybody here? Yeah, yeah. I'm hearing a lot of people who are angry about that. The new interface
Oh
is
gosh,
just frustrating, especially on
so
mobile.
much.
I'm not on PC or anything right now, and haven't been.
Hmm.
So for me, everything is mobile, and I'm telling you, on the phone itself, it's just frustrating. There are things that you used to be able to search for that you can't find anymore. I'm not thrilled about it. What are you guys finding? Faye, you were talking about how difficult it is to set up some of the events here.
Oh, I know. I do appreciate that Discord does now have a repeating events system, but I keep encountering all of these really strange problems. Like it will change the scheduling of my events to begin after they're ending, or they'll just randomly remove the banners, and that's kind of why we didn't have the event for this one correct, and why it was a different space was another one of those glitches. And I've also been having a lot of problems with streaming. It seems like every time I go to stream something, it crashes me. So these are
Mm.
problems I never really experienced with Discord. I it was always such a solid product. It was always, you know, really reliable, but I don't know, recently I've had some troubles. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
And I was
had a
What
talking
about
lot
with
you,
of
a few
Johnny?
people in
issues
the audience and
too.
they had some issues too. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of mentioning in the last place we were at is there's not. I go on and there's no messages. Nobody messages me, so clearly it's broken. But also, when I'm in the app,
Clearly.
like I never realized how much of a creature of habit I am because I go to check my messages and now I have to click another thing, and then it's really like then there's really no messages. I'm like, and then I get all my
Oh no.
servers, and then I don't know. I have like a whole thing of servers. I'm like, I just have like this Hamilton one in on the top that I'm in, and I have all these other crazy I need to go in there and clean those out because it's going to be a new year and new me. This year I'm getting serious about my Discord. I'm not going to have all these crazy
Okay.
servers I'm in, and
I'll hold you to
I'm
it. I'll check
hey, I
in.
got to aim low here. I got to actually get my resolution taken care of. So I'm going to see if I can actually get these some cleared out here. So.
I'm
Cool.
kind of a Discord hoarder in a way. I have a bunch of old servers and honestly a bunch of people that I was talking to even back in Altspace days who we haven't chatted much since then or anything like that. And multiple kind of channels where we get a few people together. Some of them I feel actually guilty. I feel bad. I feel like, oh wow, they're all still on there. It's like I'm afraid to leave because I feel like I'm gonna look like an ass, right? And I'm gonna
Too
be
many
so
channels. Mm-hmm.
I have to get over that because I have to try to clear some of you folks may be on those channels, who knows? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to send something out and I'm gonna have to get that done because I have way too many things
Mm.
on there on that tiny little. And you guys are doing it on a computer. I'm looking on a phone. I'm constantly never ending scrolling because of
Yeah.
that stuff. So it's like insane. So
I was gonna
yeah, no,
ask
that's
you why
something.
you left the Dracula server, but I guess now I know why.
Oh, so hey
But
guys, yeah, let's talk
yeah,
about a few different topics. Let's talk about the mummy. Sorry, Johnny, I had trouble hearing you, but we'll get back to whatever that is.
Mummy?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I have to tell you guys about this article I saw. So it's always kind of fun to talk about some of the stuff we see out there in the news and fun weirdness and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone has heard of this story about Stone Man Willie. This is
Stone Man
crazy.
Willie.
Stone Man Willie. This is a in Pennsylvania, there is a a mortuary that has on display a mummy. It is a mummified corpse. They call it Stone Man Willie. This guy is like supposedly 185 years old. What had happened is he'd been in jail in the 1800s. There he was in jail, and he died in jail
Mm-hmm.
from kidney failure. Believe it or not, he wasn't even in there long. It was just a little town jail, and they did not know who he was because he gave them a false name, and so as a result, they could not find his next of kin. So instead of just burying him in wherever they would bury those folks that had no name, um,
Mm-hmm.
the the funeral home folks said, "Well, listen." They asked the state. They said, "Hey, can we have permission to keep this guy and practice this new embalming technique we want to try and kind of see what happens and how it works?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah, no problem. Go ahead and do it." Well, it turns out that it wasn't a regular standard embalming technique, and the what happens with time to what's left of us when we move on and everything. He did
Mm-hmm.
not change. He was literally mummified. Whatever they were using kept this guy mummified all these years since the 1800s, and
Whoa.
he even has his hair. And here's the thing, guys, we're going to have some slides, media videos and things like that. We don't have that set up for today, but we are going to be getting our media up because I really wish I could. It sounds gross to say show you a
I
picture of
mean,
the mummy, but I mean the guy
We'll
has his
move
I
there
don't
hair,
know if I
soon.
want to
right?
see that or not want to see that. I'm not sure. It sounds to me like this gentleman got the deal of the century, even after committing a crime. So, I mean, you probably can't even pay to get embalmed that good these days. So
No,
who
God,
knows?
nowadays, no. And we women, we're always looking for a guy with a good head of hair, right? So, so
That
there's one
sounds
for the
like it
taking.
might be like a good hair product, like the world's best gel.
Oh no, it is in this.
Hmm.
Oh, it's crazy. He has actually become like he was a local celebrity. I mean, like literally, he was like a mascot of the town. And they
Wow.
decided now. So they found out who the guy was. His name was James Murphy, and they were able to finally find some information out. We're having a service for him. They're going to have him give him a proper burial and all that kind of stuff. Had a huge party, all that stuff. Apparently, what happened was
Wait,
Mr. Murphy
is it like
was in
Weekend at
town.
Bernie's? Did they just kind of like
Yeah.
prop him up and do like a?
Except this guy,
Put him in a
he's a little
chair,
slim,
make him
a
wait,
little
give him a
thin, a
little
little too
drink.
thin for my taste right now. I like a stocky man. This guy's a little too thin for me. But But yeah, so they're gonna have that thing set up for him, and apparently they found out that his story is that he was in town for a firemen's convention, and he was he was apparently from some boarding house. They say he stole something, and because he did a little theft, and back then in the 1800s, I mean. You could take anything. You take a piece of lint off of something and they're going to hang you. So it could have been something
Mm.
very innocuous. I mean, honestly, guys, when we go to hotels and things like that, I'm not gonna lie. I do take the lotion. I take the soap. I would take the shampoo back in the day. Nowadays, they don't have as many of those amenities because they know you take them. But
True.
okay, it's not stealing because you pay a lot of money for your hotel, so you should get a few things if you don't finish them off. But yeah, but back in the day, anything you would take for any reason and you'd be in trouble for it. So whatever he
I'm just
took,
gonna say, if you go to my place and you go to the bathroom and you see like a toilet paper and it has like Motel 6 wrapper on it, like just don't. I got it for a good deal, so don't. Yeah, yeah.
Motel
Oh,
6. Johnny, that right
you're
there
Yes.
says
picking those
so much
up.
about you. You should have
I
said
have
like you should have
Econo
lied.
Lodge too.
You should have been like, "Oh,
How
Red
so
about
if you
the
Roof.
see the Four
Hilton?
Seasons,
Or
if you see the Four Seasons
Yes,
and it's silk and
Hilton.
toilet paper, nothing but
is it like
silk
a
will
slow mo
Waldorf
touch me."
shopping?
Astoria. Yes.
Did you pick up some on your recent trip to California
I
in the
did
hotel?
actually, and they had like this
Nice.
shower curtain thing or shower cap thing that I took. I don't even use a shower cap, but I took
Nice.
some of that.
Hmm.
And then I'm a fan of taking the K cups too. So those,
Uh,
Ah, okay.
I'm a bit of a
well, you do
bargain
stay at
hunter
nice
here.
places.
So
I didn't have
Yep,
a
yeah,
yep.
Keurig in
sometimes I
my
have a
place.
Keurig, K cups, some
Wow.
teas and whatnot. You know me. I
Hmm.
like to like my tea. So
Yeah, how did
Cool.
you like your
That's
trip
pretty
to
fancy.
California where you did not come and see Faye and I? How'd you like that, Johnny?
well,
Yeah.
it was really cool. I
Yeah.
got to go to I got hands in the Pacific Ocean. I went to Santa Monica Pier and I just kind of,
Oh,
went down there and I like
that's
to
a nice
touch the
place.
ocean wherever
It's
I
30
go.
minutes from
It
me.
was really nice. Yeah, and
Cool.
it was quite the experience. I enjoyed the traffic too. That was
Oh yeah,
also
no,
pretty
not fun.
fun. The Hollywood, the Walk of Fame. I got to see the stars on the sidewalk, and I had
Hmm.
quite
That's
a lot
cool.
of good ramen there too. So that was fun. And I went to
There's a
Universal
lot of
Studios. I wanted to
awesome
see
ramen.
the Mario, Super Mario World. So that was cool.
Have you ever been to
And I
Universal
Awesome.
got to see an
Studios
uncle.
before?
I'd never been. Well, I've been to the one in Florida. In my past job I had, we had like a convention and they rented out a small
Hmm.
portion, but it was kind of
Oh.
like a work thing and it
Mm.
was only for like an hour. So we just went,
Oh, okay.
we did our thing, and kind of like visited with people, and then we left. But this time I got to actually enjoy Universal, and I thought it was really cool. There was a lot of interesting rides, and the food was quite pricey, but it was pretty good, and it was all
It
right.
always
Was
is.
not able to get any toilet paper or K cups, but it was still pretty
Oh.
good though. I had a good time there. Yeah, they check you pretty good before you leave. So I did not get to see Dracula. That was my whole thing. I wanted to see Dracula. I
Oh
Oh.
saw Frankenstein.
no.
I saw Bride of Frankenstein, but I don't know. Dracula
You need to come at a
was
different
not
time of
in
the year.
attendance. I just missed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
You
Universal
got to get there
Halloween
sooner.
Horror Nights. That would be
Halloween
that
Horror
would be
mhm.
a
Nights is
great time for
awesome.
you.
Although Faye wouldn't know because Faye chose not to go this year, even though she had the opportunity. Of course, I myself was loving it and having fun playing with the actors. We did a little fun little play acting with them as you're walking through. So that's always fun. Faye, why did you not go again this year? Did you say? Was there
I just
some?
wasn't feeling good.
Oh, was that what it was? It was because you were a little too
That's
scared or
okay, fine. No, I was terrified. I don't know if I could do something like that. It's just I can be in a haunt and I can scare people, but actually like going in there physically to some place to be
something?
scared, no, I just my
I know, but
heart
we'll
is
go
just
together.
beating thinking about
That
it.
way
I
you'll
just
have fun.
terrified. Okay,
It's
yes,
all
if
right.
I can have you there to hold my hand, I'll go. That's
I
the only
will.
way.
I will.
Yes.
I will protect you from
Yes.
the fake monsters who could never hurt you because in life they're just actors. Okay, yeah, no
Well,
problem.
they
Uh,
have they have chainsaws
no, it's
and
true.
they are like running and there's sparks everywhere and I saw videos and it didn't it scared me.
No, no, no. It's true. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it when I was there many years ago. I had a good time, but it was a lot of fun. But so although some of the
No, please, Johnny,
Johnny,
no.
Johnny stole that out of that bag I carry in my car when I'm trying to grab myself a date. Thanks, Johnny.
Oh,
Could
you
you put
got
that
one
back
of
with the
those
duct
too?
tape and the zip ties? Yeah, thanks. Wow,
I thought
rude.
it was your
Oh,
Just rude.
really?
getaway bag.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the other one. That's the after the first date. That's the ghosting bag. That's
Oh.
a completely different items in that one.
The
So
ghosting bag. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Um, but speaking of, I hate to go from Snowman Willie to this. I'm not trying to be like morbidly whatever, but I did find a couple
uh-huh.
of. I mean, really, this crossed my path too. There is a in Poland. Oh, this is
Mhm.
crazy. So they went ahead and they were digging around things and they went to some graves and kind of pulled some folks out. They found a child who was like 6 or 7 years old in this cemetery. It was a cemetery where they used to bury people in the 17th century when they were scared of them, where they thought they might be possessed or vampiric, or I mean, literally, they had these
Oh.
beliefs back then. So they would bury people
Wow.
in this cemetery. So they
Mhm.
found the remains. It was a child who was around 6 or 7 years old who was padlocked into his grave.
What did they
He
think he
was
did?
well, he was upside down, and they would put like rocks and heavy things on people in their on their neck and their legs, everything to keep them upside down so that they
Yeah.
would not rise after death and would not be able to get up, sit up so that they could feast on people. And they actually had the
Whoa.
belief that they were going to come back after death and they were going to start chewing out the town, so to speak, literally.
Well, you know
So
what's crazy about that is that I know it's like we couldn't make up our mind as a society in those days because you had people chained down and when they were buried, and then you had these other systems where, like, in case you got buried alive, people would be afraid, and you'd have like a little bell you could ring or something like that.
That's
So it's
right.
like, make up your mind. Do you want? Are
right.
you scared of them coming
Yeah.
back, or do you want them to come back? Like, it's
Yeah, but look
you
at how
know
times have
either
changed
or.
though, right? I mean, nowadays, because you don't have to, people don't have those same fears. Everybody wants to be a vampire. Everybody wants to be that. People want to be chained
Mhm.
down with, oh wait, I'm sorry. Sorry, is that my dating
Different type of
preferences? Sorry,
show.
that's just me. Sorry. But there are different things that people
Hello.
enjoy, and nowadays, people celebrate that stuff. But yeah, back in the day, the things that we take for granted, that we have fun with. I mean, people on Halloween. Listen, you guys, whoever knows I Halloween's my favorite holiday, and I love everything about all that stuff.
Yes.
But you know what? Back in the day, like the haunt right now that we put on every year, it is you would never be able to do something if those were the beliefs of the time. I mean, people we'd be strung up and and we'd be thrown in there with the
Mhm.
padlock. So it's kind of
It's
crazy how
true.
the belief systems have changed over the years. But
Yeah, it's true.
but but however,
Well,
let
you
me
did it.
let me put this
You
to
did it.
a little bit of a
Nice.
different topic, a little more lighthearted. There was I don't know if you guys heard about this. Did you guys hear about the poor police officer who was punched by the kangaroo? This is so
Oh
sad.
boy, this sounds like a
Poor
good
Punched by the
one.
guy. This
kangaroo?
can you imagine? This cop's not going to live this down. So in Australia, and I think, as a matter of fact, Jem, you would probably be more aware of the story, but there
Oh.
was a traveling circus, I guess, or a traveling zoo. I guess it was a zoo, and they had a kangaroo, and the kangaroo got out of its enclosure, something like that, and it was
Oh.
kind of hopping around and they couldn't find it, and so finally they were able to come across this kangaroo, and the police officers found it, and they're like calling the handlers, and they're basically, oh, what do we do, what do we do, and they were telling him to grab it by the tail. Now, I don't know much
That
about
doesn't sound like a
kangaroos.
good idea.
Yeah, Jem, is that something that you would see going on over
Yeah.
there?
In order for you, so you don't want to be in front of them because they can kick you from the front. So you want to grab them by
Hmm.
the tail. That's the only way to
Oh
really
my
kind of do it.
God.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow.
Yeah, this is insane. So the police
That's crazy.
officers, they tried to grab the kangaroo, and
Mhm.
they they grabbed the kangaroo by the tail, but as they were trying to apprehend the suspect, the kangaroo turned around and punched one of the police officers in the face. Poor,
Wow.
I should not even
I can
giggle.
imagine.
It's so
um,
sad because
Wow.
wow,
Maxie
yeah.
sent me something because he's in Australia too, and he goes, the other way to do it is you have to smack them on the nose because it disorientates them
Oh,
as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
oh. Now,
Well,
can you get
wait a
close
sec.
enough to
What?
do that though? Because
You
like
can't
if
in
once
the
you don't they kick
wild.
you, right? Because can't they
Yeah.
bounce on the tail and then kick you in front of you? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Max is all
What
yeah. Ooh.
what
Mhm.
why did they
Scary
want to
stuff.
arrest him in the first place? What was he doing or what?
That's a good point.
Oh, he escaped from his enclosure or wherever he was supposed to be.
Oh.
So,
Oh, he was
All
trying to.
yeah.
right, you gotta
Okay.
break it down for me. I spend too much time in here. I'm used to people being like furries and stuff. I'm like, why are they trying to arrest this man in the first place? What's going on here? I see what you mean now. It's sorry.
Well,
Oh,
these things you hear about, like we do hear about sometimes, like a lion, like a tiger or a lioness or something gets out. But
yes.
this happens a lot because there was another thing in Italy that happened too. Like a lion had gotten out of a circus, and this lion, Kimba, was awesome names they give to lions. I've just realized they're king of the jungle because
Kimba.
they're the best names anyway, right?
No
Mm.
relation to Simba.
No relation to Simba, distant cousin
Okay,
perhaps.
all right. Had to
But
ask.
Kimba got out of the circus and was literally rolling around the streets in Italy, backyards, jumping
Oh my
fences,
God.
walking down the street. I mean, this was insane. People were
Wow.
watching this lion walk around. Now, can you imagine looking out your window? Now, this is my question. I've seen a lot of the Ring videos where they
No.
show these creatures of the forest are on your porch, and what
Yep.
happens if you have to go out and take the garbage out at night? Or what happens
Oh my gosh.
what happens if you are wanting to walk your dog? I mean, it's getting so scary some places that you can't even do that.
Mhm.
Creatures are coming out of everywhere. But
Mhm.
luckily, they were able to catch him. The lion was caught and was safely. Nobody was hurt. But unfortunately, like what is it, the carabinieri, who are the Italian military police, they're the ones who came and had to get the guy. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What would you guys
Don't
do if
try
you
to
went
grab
outside
that
and saw that?
tail.
Oh, I'd be
I ain't
terrified.
grabbing his
I,
tail. That's for sure.
if I heard that there was a lion on the loose, I would not be even going outside for a very long time until I heard that it was caught. That's just scary. But
You'd
then
just
again,
shelter in
I don't
place.
know what I can say about that because in Montana, that's where I grew up and I lived for so long. We had all sorts of different things: mountain lions, grizzly bears. I did have people that I knew that had grizzly bears raiding their trash and things like that in the past. And
Oh,
yes, it's scary. It's scary, scary wilderness area.
oh, see that fright. Now, I've never been camping. I'm just gonna be honest. I love nature, but I have a massive phobia of
I went
insects.
once.
I'm seriously cannot do it. And then I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, who hasn't seen? Of course, we've seen the horror movies. So the
Oh yeah.
idea of being camping and having someone come at me with an axe or something is not my idea of fun. Um, so and I'm pretty sure that my friends back in the day wouldn't have wanted to camp with me because I was well armed in life, and they weren't really thrilled about that kind of thing. Everybody who was going to be roommate, I'm like, if you're my roommate, don't go in my room. So I mean, with that thing, I would be so nervous walking around looking behind every tree, thinking, Jason's out there to get us or something,
Yeah.
and oh my
Don't
God, like
spend
in
any time in
Minnesota.
Crystal Lake.
Yes, yes. See, that's what I love about with Crystal Lake here. Oh, which reminds me, the Jason thing. You guys in Minnesota, Minnesota. There is a lake down there where the the what do you call it, the Park Service was a little upset and was going to get this removed, but a guy went over there into Minnesota. He made his own Jason Voorhees statue. He actually created it himself. He made the
Whoa.
statue. He took it in back in 2018. He took it into the lake. He took it 120 feet down and he chained it with it, and
Oh
it's
no
there
way.
with its machete and everything. So what happens is people who were in the lake and were going down there, they didn't know. And they literally in the dark murky lake, they would come right up like by this Jason in the lake and scare the living crap out of them. And
Oh
it got
my
to be
gosh.
people were freaking out thinking they're going to have a heart attack or something like this, that it became like so frightening until it was
Wow.
wide known and people were like, oh, that's funny. But the people who were down there were like, yeah, that's not funny. And I mean, I
Jeez.
would not, I would not be able to handle that. I think that would scare the hell out of me. That would just be
No,
too
it would be
much.
terrifying. It would definitely be terrifying.
No,
Man.
not good at all. Are you guys out here? Are you any of you campers? Show of hands. How many of you are jump up and down? Actually, let me see you do some jumps if you've been camping. Yeah, you guys like the
Yeah,
wild,
a
the
few
great
people.
outdoors.
Mhm.
So, his have you guys ever been camping, and has that ever crossed your mind? Like, have you ever been concerned about, about bad people coming around and, evil people doing stuff? I mean, does that, if you've ever been worried about it, give me a couple jumps here. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Because that is, I don't know why some people are look at me like I'm crazy when I talk about that stuff, but I can't, I just couldn't do it. I mean, if I was like in an RV, that would still be an iffy situation for me. If I was in an RV and I had all the proper accoutrements with me, I guess I'd be okay with it. But I would never
Hmm.
go anywhere unarmed these days camping. I can't.
That's
I'm kind of surprised
glamping.
people do that. Yes.
That's
Isn't
the
glamping?
Oh,
fancy. Yes, you want to
okay. Now
glam.
Yes.
hold on. I okay. Me doth protest because yes, they call it glamping, but it's not glamping if you are scared to death of bugs. That is life saving. That is like that is like
Oh
a
yeah, I
phobic
don't
safe
like
place to
bugs.
be. I cannot deal with
That's true.
insects and,
I
and
can
and
understand that.
bugs and things like that. And I'm allergic to
Hmm.
bees too, so that would be pretty scary.
Oh, I'm
But listen,
terrified of bees.
I mean, why even call it glamping anymore? It's a necessity these days, right? Because
Hmm.
the elements get really bad, and I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I would rather not use the height of the
plus,
tree as a bathroom if I don't have
where are you
to.
gonna? You can VR in the RV. VR RV. Okay, sorry, I just. Oops. Anyways, you can
That's
VR
pretty
in
good.
the RV, and I don't know why.
Johnny, are you
Just
dosing again?
but no, I feel like that's why I don't get it. Because the first thing I'll be like, "Hey, you want to invite me camping? Sure. Can I bring my Oculus?" My friends are gonna be like, "Okay, just stay home. Like, don't bring the
You could
Oculus."
go. You could go a step
I'm like, "But I want to
farther.
be."
You could be in the RV in VR in a space in an RV.
Oh my god. I guess Faye's dosing too. Why was
My
I not
brain
invited
just
to this
broke.
party, you guys? Why was I not invited? Oh my god.
Is
That
Well
is
there
then,
food?
insane.
I'll
Have
go
a
if there's
VR
food.
headset.
That's insane. Oh my
well, you
I did
could
god.
that 6
control
months
your own
ago.
environment then. Well, your second environment, not your original first one. But who cares about that? Because you're happy. You're inside the VR headset. And,
That's
you're just
true.
not worrying about the world around you. Just like in Ready Player One. They wore their headsets to just get away from the terribleness of the world and things like that. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you just use the VR to get rid of your scaredness
I
of
mean,
being in the RV
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah,
nature
I
and
would
all
RV
still be
that, but I
therapy
scared.
think I would just be
in RV.
like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, okay, these trees are great. Okay, I want to go into Banter and see who's on. Like, let me just I've already seen the
Yeah.
trees and stuff.
I
Like,
bet the
listen, we've
graphics
been in
would
the
be
car
better
for
in
like 8
VR.
hours to get here, and then we have to hang out. Also, like, I'll just be in VR.
Okay, but what if you're in the RV in the woods and on your VR, but then you're
Uh-huh.
not paying attention to what's going on around you? What if someone is like breaks into the RV? What if there's like a group of people out there who have foul intentions and you would be ill prepared for that? That's the other thing
They
too.
would be so scared of me being in my headset, they would think that I was,
Exactly.
insane or something, and I think they'd probably just leave me alone.
I the,
They might
they'd
steal
be like,
things
let's go
around
to
me, and
another
I would come back to an
campfire.
empty RV, but
They'll be so scared of Faye anyway. Oh, that's Faye. Oh, wow. That's right. Faye, alt space goddess, community manager at Banter. Yeah, we're gonna just kind of clear her from Faye. Faye has that effect on people sometimes. Her power. Thank God she's not a power hungry person, but she can be very intimidating at times. People don't realize this. Oh, guys, when the haunt comes around next year, you're gonna get a little taste of how intimidating Faye can be. That's all I'm gonna say. Little
this
teaser.
is
Little
true.
teaser.
This is true.
Um, so I have a question for you guys. How many guys out here? How many of you have started to Asgard's Wrath? Anybody out here started with that yet? Yeah. Okay. Um,
Awesome.
were you guys aware of how big it is for standalone? It's like what, 32 gigs or something? I've been hearing about a
Yeah.
bunch of people upset because nobody was aware that it was going to be that huge and it was causing a lot of problems.
Really?
Because also, what you need more to download it, you need more than the 32 gigs. Yeah, yeah. And
I didn't
apparently, when you're
know.
doing tethered, it's like 130 gigs on your computer or something,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Okay.
That's for the
crazy.
first one. That's for the original
That's
one.
more substantial.
Was that the
It
original?
might
Oh
be.
my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
the
don't know.
second. I
But
haven't
the
downloaded the
the
second one. That's
because if you purchase the Quest 3, um,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually get the first one for free on PC VR right now. I don't know
Oh
how
also, yeah,
long
wow.
the
this,
Quest.
but
That's cool.
if
Oh
you
no,
look at the
that
thing,
expired.
also in
I just bought
Population
that.
1, you can get a free skin from them too, and
That's
Oh,
uh,
that's
cool.
awesome.
and
Nice.
also a new um, world in your Oculus, just
Mm,
for
mm-hmm.
Quest 3
Okay.
users.
Really cool
I,
All
things.
right. All
I,
right.
I was able to get
Nice.
But
it the first one for free on my PC on my Quest 2, but I don't know if that offer is expired or not. I had to go to support and
Oh.
ask about it.
Oh
mm,
wow.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's good for
Uh,
people who do that. Have you guys now you
I
guys
need.
you haven't done Asgard's Wrath yet, have you?
no, I
I
haven't had
played the
a chance
first
to.
one. The first one's amazing. It was always this thing where, like, as soon as you get PCVR, the first thing anyone says, "Oh, you gotta play Asgard's Wrath." And I went in, and it delivers. I'm in a
Nice.
couple of my wacky discords, and everyone's telling me like a lot of these people are diehard PCVR aficionados, and they were kind of dogging it a little bit in the beginning. Why is it only on Quest Native? Blah blah blah. They are all amazed by it, and I've been kind of seeing and reading. They're like, you got to jump into this, Dracula's. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's amazing. Down. So I'm gonna check it out, because I'll admit it, I was one of these kind of PCVR fan persons, and I was ready to go, like, yeah, I don't know, it's not gonna be as good as the first one, not as clear, but everyone is saying it delivers. I just wish it was a little bit smaller, but I mean, there's nothing they could do. A lot of these other games are, if you look at a PlayStation or an Xbox, those games are easily over 100 gigabytes. So it's bittersweet,
Mhm.
right? It's a large file, but we're getting really good games now, and it's exciting, I think.
Well, I guess the controversy between the 128 and not having a 256, between the 128 and 512, and everybody's like, get the 512, you won't be able to fit games on it otherwise, and this and that. And I'm actually surprised you haven't played Asgard's Wrath because you always jump on those things pretty much right away. So I'm surprised you haven't gotten to it yet.
The one that's got me really my attention right now is the Dungeons
Assassin's
of
Creed?
Eternity.
Oh, okay.
That
Mm.
one's good too. I love that the Assassin's Creed, but I don't know. I'm a social gamer, and
Hmm.
you know me. I never shut up, right? So I love
Hmm.
going in there and just kind of having fun with other people. I get kind of
Hmm.
lonely when I'm playing the one players. I need
Yeah.
Mm.
I need to have that camaraderie and stuff. So
Hmm.
the Dungeons of
Definitely.
Eternity, I'm really liking that one. And then when nobody's on, then I hop into Assassin's Creed. But I'm so behind now. All these games have these things you want to do for, like, the holidays, and extra things you can download, clothes and different
Oh.
armor. So, like, I have to
Mhm.
go in and I have to do the poker because I want to get the crazy Santa hat. Then I have to go into Population 1 and do those things. And it's they've got my schedule packed, so I have no time for camping
The
or
freebies.
pulling
All of the
tails of
freebies.
kangaroos or
Yes,
any. Yeah,
absolutely.
gotta get the freebies.
Now, Faye,
Hmm.
you haven't gone into Asgard's Wrath yet either. Why have you not
I
gotten into it yet?
haven't. No, I don't really have too much time to play games. I watch other people
Mm.
play, and when I watch other people play, I get to say that I've played it because I spent all of that time watching them and looking things up and things and helping them out. So I always say I've played them. My roommates kind of get pissed at me for that, saying you didn't play, you've never played. I'm like, yes, I have. I've played through Half-Life Alyx all the way through. Absolutely. And all of the room uh, games, the puzzle games. Yeah,
Hmm. Well,
I know
there
that
is
one.
there's actually a demo out with which I'd like you guys to download and play. I think it's off of App Lab. It's called Tunnels. Yeah,
Tunnels.
I went into this thing and I started basically the storyline. Is that it's a guy who's going to go through, and his job is he's a professional demolisher. So there's a mine that needs to be demolished, and he goes to set charges so they can do the demolition. Well, when he's in
Hmm.
there, he's not alone. There's something else in there. And there I I started in this thing. I'm not kidding. I started going through this thing, and it got to the point where I was like getting in it a little bit, and I was finally looking down all these little dark tunnels, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not in the mood right now to
That
get a
doesn't
little
sound like your kind of
freaked
thing.
out. Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe not right now. So I decided I'm gonna not be brave, and I'm just gonna, read more about it. And everybody kept talking about the jump scare, and I was like, oh my God. And I'm all about a good jump scare when I'm crafting them for all of you guys to scare the shit out of you during Halloween. However,
Yeah, yeah.
um, not not so much a fan of them myself. And Yeah, I went ahead and I actually now don't do this if you guys I'd rather you guys go and download this thing and go through it and check it out. But otherwise you can pop on and see a little bit on YouTube, see
Mm.
someone going through it so you see where that jump scare is. But it only goes so far. Like basically you get to where the jump scare is and that's kind of the end of the demo and the guy
Hmm.
thought, "Oh, maybe if I do something differently because the flashlight keeps going out and yeah, it's a little bit of something."
Oh,
So
that doesn't
if you
sound
guys want
good.
a good
Uh,
scare, go download that and do
Blech.
not look at
I'm gonna take
YouTube.
a page. I'm gonna take a page out of Facebook, and I might watch somebody else play this one because
Yeah,
I don't
I think
really
that that's the
want to
best way
scream
to
in
yeah,
go.
terror.
Uh-huh.
yeah. That was kind of how I did
Yeah.
that. I was like, yeah, this one I'm not feeling.
Mm.
And if you're claustrophobic, it also kind of people were getting the feeling of
Oh yeah,
claustrophobia. So it's
no
pretty
thanks.
it's that's well done. And again, it's a demo. It's got some glitches and it's not complete. But let me tell you, they're on the right track. It's well done. That is really a terrifying situation. And actually, for the haunt this year, I had planned to have a cave system in the haunt as one of the scares
Mhm.
for the but the person that was going to provide that for us was at Burning Man when they all got stuck at Burning Man. Like, was it 2 weeks? Like a lot longer. And so he was unable
Oh,
to kind of get that together, which was okay because we can always bring that in next year. But
another time.
yeah, but a cave system definitely that kind of stuff. There's something scary about it. There's just something that's
There
terrifying about what
is
lives in these caves. And I don't know if you
claustrophobia
guys,
as well.
well, claustrophobia
Mhm.
huge, yeah, big time. But I
Mhm.
don't know if you guys are a fan of horror films, but there is a film called The Descent, and if anyone hasn't seen it, I suggest you guys check that out. It's probably the original Halloween is always going to stand as my all-time favorite because that is like beautiful. That was the intensity, the scary, everything that comes along with that, the anticipation they built up with that original film without having to be horrifically gory and bloody like they are nowadays, which is awesome. But there are some other things. I love The Descent. It scared the hell out of me. The idea, it made me feel like I was there. It's a bunch of friends. They get together. They go spelunking. They like to go through the cave systems and all that. And they end up going into a cave system. They get trapped. They get lost, and they are not alone. And it is the creepiest thing. It scared the hell out of me just watching it. So
Mm.
there's the Descent one and the Descent two, but I've seen them both. They're, okay, but the first one you've got to see. So if you guys have any free time and you want to see something pretty terrifying, go rent the
Yeah,
Descent. It's really good.
I'm
Oh,
okay.
love
I'm okay.
it. Go
You
stream it,
enjoy
whatever.
you. You do you.
Yeah, but I'm going to be getting you into more of those. When we're
Yeah.
together, we will be watching them together in person because I'm going to get you into some of those.
Well,
Johnny,
that's
what about you?
exactly why I bring my Oculus everywhere. If you invite me to the cave and we get lost, I'm gonna have something to do. You guys, I don't know what y'all are gonna. I'm gonna be in my Oculus. I'm gonna
He'll
be
change his
Assassin's
And
environment.
Creed, and yeah,
yeah, and not be aware of what's coming around you. That's great, Johnny. He'll be off in a corner somewhere,
I won't be
oblivious
bored.
oblivious to the carnage going on about you. Oh my God, that's insane.
um,
So any other thoughts you guys want to share with everyone today before we close up tonight?
mm, not that I can think of. How about
Okay.
you?
All right. No, we had some fun chats, fun stuff to
Yeah,
chat about, and we will have more
it's been a
again
good
next week
time.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, we are, we're going to be bopping around. Sometimes we'll be in some different locations for the podcast. We're just not going to be the standard fare, but just excited. And oh yeah, the other thing, once a month, guys, what we're going to be doing with the podcast is we're actually going to have more of a talk show format. So we're going to be a podcast maybe 3 weeks out of the month, and then one week out of the month we're going to kind of do this as a talk show. And we're going to be having some guests to interview, things like that, have a little more interactive discussion with you guys, and just really change it up. I'm a big fan of doing things a little bit differently. Those of you who've been through my auditions know that.
Always,
When I'm
always.
auditioning for my projects, I don't do exactly what people expect me to do because I look for certain things. And luckily, Johnny and Faye are on board with doing some fun, different things too.
Mhm.
They like kind of dipping their toe into something different. So this is going to be fun. I'm glad. I hope you
Yeah.
guys will all come along with us for the ride on all of that.
Yep.
Johnny, any parting
Definitely enjoyed
thoughts?
this.
No, I would just like to thank everyone for joining us, and hope you guys
Absolutely.
enjoyed everything. And so glad to be up here with two of my good friends here in VR, and excited to kind of go over some new stuff with you guys. And can't thank everybody enough. And if we don't see you, happy holidays. But I'm sure I'll be in here. So thank you, everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're talking
Absolutely.
about what we're going to do with the holidays, if we're going to be having a break before then or not. But and as we go forward, guys, we'll be getting the media and things like that. We could have waited longer and gotten things like the media up and all that stuff. But you know what? We just want to chat with you guys. We want to just go ahead and start powwowing and start having this stuff out here. And we've decided let's just go now. Let's just go now, and we'll just bring the media into it when we do. But it's just about getting together with everybody and having a little chat and having a little fun and talking about some fun stuff.
Yeah.
So having a good time. So guys, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you that came late, I'm Psycho. This is
Faye.
that is
Draculus.
wow, slow on the up. And this, Johnny, this is why I have to really
had to-
reconsider my next show.
Whoops.
We'll be doing
Should we run
Dracula
those
as
lines
the
again?
next play I produce, and we'll be like, Johnny, want me to give you Dracula? You have the lead. And all of a sudden, he's supposed to come in. There's me, and I'm like, where's Dracula? Where's Dracula supposed to be? It's your cue. It's your cue.
Hello,
He's
my
like,
dear.
"Oh,
My dear, where have you been?
too late. They would have run away by now.
Oh, I was in
Oh my God.
Banter. I got distracted. I could not see
Oh
you.
my God. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Guys, he's insane. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Do you have any cool music
thank you all.
for us to kind of
Yes.
feel a
Play
little,
us
a little
out.
rockin' action going on? And I want to have dance
You
breaks
guys
every so
wanna-
often too, guys. But
Do you
We'll
want to
have
do
it
a
now.
group photo? For your
Yeah,
first
let's
event?
do it.
Yes, that's a great
Sure, sure.
idea.
Everybody by the Christmas tree.
Yes.
Let's
Another
get
great
everybody-
thing about
big-
VR.
guys,
I'm
let's
not
get the
afraid
three of
to get
us
a picture of
so we
me.
can be seen. We got these massive
Where are
throws
you?
over here, so come over here,
Yeah,
Ben.
how do
All
I-
right,
I might
Johnny.
get-